Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel where you join me today here at the Daimler Test Center with Mercedes-Benz Classic, and I'm about to drive probably the best secret beast that Mercedes-Benz have ever made, the CLK DTM. Now we're here with a pretty incredible lineup, the 190 Evo 2, the AMG GTR and the SLS AMG Black Series, plus another GTR, plus a safety car GTR as well. But today I'm fascinated to experience this, one of 100 coupes that they made, celebrating Bernd Schneider's successes, his 5 world championships in DTM, and of course Mercedes' overall performance, well, since this in the earlier stages. Today though, we're going to go out for a bit of a convoy. I'm going to be driving this to get a feel for what it's like. I have driven one once before, though it was very, very gentle. Today we're going to be taking it out for a more spirited drive here on the handling circuit that they have at the test centre. So let's have a quick look around the car before we've got to jump in to take it out and go for a drive. Let me start by telling you a little bit about this fabulously rare thing before we do take it immediately out. They only made 100 coupes in total. There are also 80 roadsters they made afterwards. It has the 5.5 litre supercharged V8, making 582 horsepower and 800 Newton meters of torque. Back at the time, it actually cost 236,000 euros when it was launched back in 2004. The homologation version, you could say, of the DTM car, the winning 2003 car based on the CLK. So you have these gigantically wide arches. They're even bigger and even more brutal than the CLK Black Series, which we've seen in other generations, but this is the DTM derived version. And when you see inside, have a look at this. It is totally stripped out. Full carbon door cards, lots of carbon fiber used all around it to save weight. We've got the full carbon bucket seats. We've got a 5-speed automated manual sequential gearbox, the almost slightly squared off round steering wheel. This car could go up to 320 kilometers an hour, so the top speed being about 200 miles per hour. It would do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles per hour in just 4.1 seconds, 0 to 200 kilometers an hour, 124 miles per hour in 12.2 seconds. So a lot of power all going through the rear wheels. You've got the carbon fiber spoiler at the rear. You've got a great soundtrack as well. And I'm going to be driving it, I think, following the safety car AMG GTR, which is also pretty spectacular, with the 190 Evo as well. And we just got this amazing lineup. So without any further hanging around, let me grab a helmet, hop on board. I'm going to take this out to experience the CLK DTM here on the circuit, the test track that they have in Immendingen. This is going to be pretty special. Well, I'm in the car, harnesses are all done up. This feels really cool. Modelled on the DTM car, we've got the buttons on the steering wheel. This is race car for the road from this generation, which was so much more, I think, hardcore and extreme than the cars are now. This is a car that is built for experience. Now, to pop it into gear, you pull this very little shifter down to drive. We're in manual by default. In fact, up into neutral just for 1 second. That sounds cool. So, they're going to be heading out first. We've got the SLS Black in Solar Beam, which looks awesome. The GTR in the green Hell Magno, or light green Magno as it's now called in the UK. We're going to be following on next, so good to go when they are. Wow, okay, CLK DTM. This is a car that is immensely special. I'm not quite sure what they're worth, but a good 300,000 or 400,000 now. If one ever comes up for sale, that is. And obviously they're not exactly common, so spare parts aren't aplenty. This is a car that we need to look after, so it's not going to be a flat out and out Mach 10 drive. Oh, you feel the kick of the shift. It gives you a thump from behind. Proper hardcore thump. Now, I have actually driven this test track before. Some say it might have been late at night on an evening when perhaps I stole a brand new car. We can't possibly comment further on that. Oh, this is cool. The steering wheel is really interesting. It's a totally different feel. It's still a bit of a sighting lap. When you've only driven it in the dark, let's just say it's a little bit different when you're out now in the sunshine. Just get a little feel for it, 150 kilometers an hour. It's a bit like a road drive. It just happens to be on a twisty, undulating test track. Obviously there's a bit of waiting for the gearbox. It's not like a modern gearbox. That throaty rumble. And of course I'm following the F1 70th anniversary pace car, which is also pretty awesome. This is really cool actually. I'd love to drive the Black Series to get a feel for that as well. But I called this the the secret Mercedes beast, because there are so few of them. And I don't think that many people really know what it's all about. Now, I drove one before in Switzerland about 4 years ago, and Dr. Muro did a video with one as well, and I think he might have even said that it was a secret Mercedes as well, because just nobody really seems to know much about the DTM. It's a car that Bernd Schneider was heavily involved in. He's actually here as well, driving the lead AMG GTR of the other group. Like, you feel like you can just throw this a load. But obviously he's a 5-time DTM champion. He's been involved in a lot of the different cars in the lineup. How cool is this? To be driving the CLK DTM. I mean, I would also almost love to throw it a little bit harder, but we have to preserve the cars. I mean, we're getting more than enough tire squeal out of it. 582 horsepower, 800 newton meters. Of course, you feel a lot of the torque. It's got plenty to give. This is really cool. Like I said, it's not the fastest drive in the world, but I tell you what, this over driving slowly on the roads at speed limits any day. Let's be real, you quickly lose track when you're on tarmac on a racetrack, because, well, we're at 120 kilometers an hour through a corner. Down the straight here, foot flat. Oh, that sounds cool. 200 mile an hour top end. The steering is amazing. Away we go. Tuck it in, we've got the undulations. This is a very, very, very complex circuit, no question that side. I mean, this car's nearly 20 years old. That's crazy when you think about it. Time has flown. This came out before I could even drive, before I had a driving license. But obviously the CLK back then, in fact, my mum had a CLK. Not like this though. And of course on the used market, a base CLK now is peanuts from that era. You know, like £1,000, £2,000, but this is something completely else. Rev it out. Just everything within safety margins. Talking about, what an experience. This thing is awesome. Alas, that's the end of our outing. We're quickly flying from one car to the next today, but I just had to get this one on camera, the CLK DTM. I make no secret of my love of the Black Series models. Obviously there is the CLK Black Series and the CLK DTM. The DTM 180 convertibles, the Black Series was 800 in total, 700 in total, but this is just plain cool. It looks so mad, and in this color, I thought they were all silver before today, but in this color, yes, I'm going to pull up ahead of the 190. This is really, really awesome. Special opportunity here with Mercedes-Benz Classic to drive this. A very special opportunity. Go up into reverse just for a moment to park the car. That's it, a drive. What a machine. I genuinely loved that. Maybe not completely Mach 10, but I loved getting a feel for what this is like. Things are happening fast here. The CLK DTM has been out again. I've actually just been for a quick run in the Solar Beam Yellow SLS Black Series and the Beast of the Green Hell as well. This is the car that I drove the first time, the car that I drove again about a year ago now, the car that inspired me to purchase mine. And in the sunshine, in this light, the pearlescent Solar Beam Yellow paintwork is just stunning. Of course, I thought about it to paint my car in this colour, but it was the launch colour, so you see quite a few of them, and there's something about mine being unique. That's why I went for the Mystic Blue. But ideas, hopefully, for the future. For the time being, though, this lineup, this is just extraordinary. Fantastic array of cars. This is truly special. Those that know what this is know what it is. It's something incredible. What an awesome experience with all of these lined up here. I have to run you through a few more things about the car. Let's start on the inside, where you will notice the rear, which we very briefly saw earlier, is literally a carbon shell with a strut brace that runs across it. But normally the CLK would have 2 seats in the rear. This does not, of course, with the aim of saving some weight. It's about 1740 kilos loaded with a driver, with fuel, etc. inside the car. Also, I need to show you the engine bay. Let's pop this open, because the engine, the M113, originally came in the SLK 55 in 2002. It was developed for the SLR and then found its way into here with 582 PS, 574 brake horsepower, obviously front engined. And you can see the car sits pretty low. It's got adjustable coilovers, lightweight forged wheels, 19 at the front, 20 at the rear. We've got Brembo 6-pot brakes as well. Yeah, I mean, this was basically the AMG, well, motorsport division, the DTM race guys saying, we'll make the road car, we'll make it look badass with these huge wide arches. And I mean, it's just a really cool thing. Really cool. I'm just going to sit inside and start it very quickly, show you a little more in here. This is turn of the key, it rumbles, burbles away that supercharged engine in here. Obviously carbon panels, no armrest or anything like that, all about saving weight again. Small storage area up there. This is actually how you change it between manual and sport with that little toggle. You've got the SP there as well, start button too. But basically pretty simple. It does actually have aircon and radio. I'm not sure if you could have those deleted effectively. And then this steering wheel that I mentioned, this slightly squared, slightly squircled steering wheel, because it's flattened at the top and the bottom, that race inspired feeling, with the options here to go through the different displays on the screen as well, with quite a click, like when, for example, you're on the racetrack and you're doing your lights or your radio or something like that, and your settings and controls, but not a whole lot else. You've got the electric mirrors. Need to tuck this in so the GTR can come on by. Mr. Schneider is driving that car as it happens. Take it out, we've got the handbrake down there, but basically it's just a monster. Take a quick listen outside. That's cool, the supercharged V8 grumble and the sound that it makes. So let's turn it off, revert to silence. Even the dashboard has carbon fibre surrounding the white dials. That's actually a really cool dash, just with the small digital element in the center. Paddles up quite high on the steering wheel, it has to be said. They're really high mounted above center position. Obviously you've got your lights and indicators stalk over to one side. But otherwise, more or less what you would expect from this seriously awesome thing. There's just a bit of a secret. They're not talked about all that much, but they are very special. I think any true lineup of incredible AMGs almost certainly needs one of those with its gullwing doors up, and probably one of these as well, a CLK DTM or a DTM Roadster, the convertible, which is a 2+2. The Roadster does have the back seats actually in it, a bit more of a car for cruising and driving around in. So I have actually really enjoyed this, driving that car out here on the test track in Immendingen. And huge thanks to Mercedes-Benz Classic as well for my outings in the GTR and the SLS Black Series. I know I didn't cover those, but we've seen a lot with both cars before on the channel. That was awesome. I'd love to now drive a CLK Black Series to see how that stacks up as well. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video during the day to experience some pretty special stuff. A big thanks again to Mercedes-Benz Classic and to all of you as always. That's it for this time though, and I'll see you again very soon. Cheers!